Hello again. Welcome in, guys. I'm back. Okay. So I need to be this way more. I need to be this way more. I'm sure this way more. Okay. Are we good? Good. Oops, I didn't turn the comments. Welcome back, guys. Get my chair, all the things. We're going to make a couple wreath bases today. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn everything on so that I can see you. And get started. I was on earlier and there wasn't a lot of people on, so it's kind of crickets. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a break, go do some laundry, come back and see where see if everybody's kind of coming back on or what. So first I'm going to find something to watch. And I want to find something, honestly, I'm in the, fall Halloween mood, so I don't know. I feel like I want to watch something scary, so let me find that first, and then we'll get started. Come on in, guys. We started the wreath, we're just going to keep working on it. I'm not sure what we're going to watch. Anybody have any suggestions? For... Okay. I don't know, do I want to watch something scary? Welcome in, come on in, say hello, we're getting ready to get started. There's nothing, so when that happens, I can't find anything. We're gonna go back to what I trust the most, and that's Stranger Things. So we're gonna go back to watching Stranger Things. Alright. I cannot find my rotary cutter. I don't want to use my old one, and I can't find my new one. Everything's still kind of like everywhere since my wreath class, and so I'm trying to get everything back, out and going, but everything's just been kind of lost since the class. So but I'm gonna make a couple bases because I have to get my ESHOP. I have to get it's stocked more. So that's just what I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to, of course, change it up just a little, just a little. You know me, I'm always trying to like try something new, all the things, so let's just so we might not cut all of it at once because I do want to test it out and try a few things differently. So, how is everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. I thought I had you guys pulled up on here. Apparently I don't. Happy Saturday, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Let's see, I need 5 of those. Let's see. Okay. Yes, I am. I didn't even see that comment. Yes, I'm using 10-inch. I don't see it up there. What's going on with my... yes, I am using 10-inch mesh. Now, I used 21-inch mesh to make we started with 21-inch mesh. But now we're on to the 10-inch mesh. We're doing Patriotic, and then I want to start one and do, I have a summer one. I don't normally do summer wreaths, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. So, welcome in, guys. I don't want to miss the comments. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need one more of these. And then we're going to cut the other one, and then we're going to put it in because that'll just be too much mesh laying around everywhere, and I didn't want to get it mixed up. So, and my other rotary cutter my better one for some reason is missing. So here's what we're doing for the other one. You know, wait, what do the colors look like? Why do I feel like, yeah, I think that red's going to work. I was going to say, we could have gone maroon, but I think the maroon is going to be too red. Hi, Cassie. Hello, hello. How are you? I'm back. Okay. I think I'm going to start saving these two because I can use these to wrap up my, the old... like the leftover mesh so it doesn't catch on to everything. I'm going to start keeping it. Alright. So now we're going to... What is everybody up to today? Did everybody survive the storms? Is that rabbit from Sam's Club? This right here? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's what actually we're going to be using today. We made a bow a couple weeks ago. So let me fluff it out and I'll show you the bow we made. And after we made the bow, it just kind of inspired me to make a navy patriotic and use navy instead of cobalt blue. So, so we made this, and I still have to cut the tail, cut the tails where I want them. I'm not sure where I want them, which is why I haven't cut all of them. But we did make this bow, and we might use it in this wreath. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with this one. So, but this this and this ribbon. This, and this ribbon is from Sam's Club. Yes. Thank you. We just kind of whipped that up. Somebody had asked, you know, to show them how to make a bow, and I'm not the best at making bows, but I'm like, I'll show you the kind of bow I do know how to make. So we did that on a live a couple weeks ago. And it's just been sitting here, and I was going to use it in a wreath that I was making in Patriotic, but then I realized I used cobalt colors as my blue instead of navy, so I can't use that one. And this, I need to find my rotary cutter. 1, 2, 3. This rotary cutter is just about done. Well, it just needs a new blade. I would say just the blade's about done. I don't have a sign yet. Like I said, the ribbon inspired me. So I don't have a sign yet. We're just gonna wing it, and I can always find a sign later. Or put a big bow in it. I don't know. Maybe we don't need a sign. Maybe we just need a bow. I don't know. We'll see. Because I do have another wreath I want to start, and so we can get most of this done, and then just I have a summer wreath that I want to start, and so I might get the mesh made for that, something like that. I don't know. Hi, Justin, Mrs. C, welcome in. I'm glad you found us. Let me hit the welcome in button. I'm so glad you found us. Hi, Justin. How are you? It's good to see you. Okay. So we're only going to cut the outside first because I think I'm going to make the inside a different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is just the outside mesh. So we're going to go ahead and just work on that for now. Tara, where's my welcome in button? Welcome in, Tara. Glad you found us. I am on the road to 5K friends in here. We're almost, I think, to 42. So we have a long ways to go, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to do it. All right. So let's get these outside. Let's get the outside ones in here. Okay. Can you guys see me okay? Okay. Okay. Let us start. Let's start with the first one. Red and white. So we're just going to start with, we are just going to start with the cruffle. I did my first wreath class Thursday. Oh my gosh. It was, I have a lot of things, you know, that I'd love to talk about. How it went. A lot of feelings about it. A lot of good points, a lot of bad points. A lot of things. Overall, it went good for being my first one. It went good. And let's do blue next. I might try something. I'm always trying to, you know, change up my recipe a little. I don't know, maybe we'll see. Oops. It is super windy out today. Anybody get any storms last night? Okay. So if you are new here or new to me, There is a box over here with a number in it. If you text that and just say hello, it will actually send you an link to everything me. All the places you can find me. And I would appreciate it. Trying to get out there everywhere and do all the things and meet all the people. So I do have YT. I do have FB. I have the E. I have all the things. I'm going to try something here. I'm just going to try something. Let's see what that looks like. Why do I feel like that's just way too high? I feel like I'm uncoordinated all of a sudden and can't get this in here. And we're going to redo it. I'm just not happy with that. Clip it. Oh, thank you for Loretta for the love. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now we have it again. Now we're going to. Why? I want to put it in like this, but I just don't know. I put it in and then I don't like it. So we're just going to go back to that OG. Thank you, Loretta. Just that OG look that we have. So, you know, I want to try new things, but why mess up a good thing? I ask myself that all the time. So we're just going to stick with what we know. Thank you so much for the love. Oops. This is curling up on itself here. We did the cruffle in our wreath class on Thursday, and I didn't realize, you know, for some, you know, and this was a very, very very beginner wreath party, and this seemed to be a little bit challenging. So if I ever do it in the future and it's for like newbies, I definitely need to rethink, you know, rethink the recipe that I want to make the wreath, you know, because they seem to be like struggling. So, but I loved it. They were so sweet. They were so sweet. It was a lot of fun. Okay. Let's do a blue. Welcome in, guys. Please say hello when you come in. Let me know if you're new, where you're watching from, what your weather's like. It's sunny, chilly, and windy today, but yesterday it was hot, and it was the storms were getting ready to brew, and it was crazy. So it was a crazy day yesterday. I hope everybody stayed safe in those storms yesterday, because they were crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay. we are making Patriotic, and then we're going to kind of, I don't have a sign for this one, but then we're going to go in and make a summertime wreath that I found. So, gloomy and cold in Texas. Oh, Loretta. Gloomy and cold. It's been and it's been, and all week at work it was so hot. South Carolina. Hello, Shelly. Welcome in. It's been so hot all week. Of course, while we're work, sunny and hot. And then we get home and now it's chilly. It is still sunny here. I live in Missouri and it's still sunny. Don't get me wrong, but it's chilly. So, just getting my little cruffle how I want it. I've got to get my ETSY stocked up, so that's what we're working on today. Let me get it stocked. I have to say, I do like how long I've cut these. We'll see how much mesh I use though, but we'll see. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway around, you guys. Okay. So we're going to use, actually, all 4 ribbons that we're going to use in this came from SAMS. Came from Sam. If I'm allowed to, maybe if I just say just Sam. So, all 4. Now some are from years ago. I did get one this year that I'm going to include, but for the most part, all the other ones are from previous years. Keep veering off to the side where you guys can't see. Okay. Got 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like this red and white mesh. Doesn't seem to catch really bad. Once I get it ruffled, then I just kind of shape it how I want it. And then we'll cut the inside. And then we will look at the mesh. I do have a Hello Summer like popsicle sign that thought about also doing. We'll see. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. I try to answer them the best that I can without getting myself in trouble here. Because you never know what you can say or not say on here. So. Just ruffle right up the center. Try to keep it as close to the center as possible. I like a lot of times if there's a pattern in the center, it makes it really easy to go right at the center because you can just watch that pattern. When there's not a pattern, it's a little bit harder. Oops, keep pulling it. Okay. 2 more. Where'd my clip go? Hello, Beth. How are you? Okay. I think that looks good. Gonna put it in here. We are on our last one, and then I'll show you what we have, how it looks. And then we will cut the ribbon. Well, no, we still have to put the inside mesh in first. And I do not have a sign for this one. I'll look for one, it's fine. There's signs everywhere right now. I just thought when I made that bow, I'm like, okay, let's just do... Now, I think what would go perfect with this would be our white pop of color. What do you guys think? If you guys hang out and watch me do lives, you know I love that pop of color idea. So I think we're gonna do white. White would really pop on this. Even though there's white in the red and white ribbon, I really think that white would pop. All right, last one. There. Get it all fixed there. There. All right, so here we go. Here's what we have so far. The white is really going to pop on here. So now we're going to do the inside ones. Thank you, Beth. Wait till we add that pop of white. You're going to be like, what? Okay, so we're going to do 22. Oh, I need to go find my rotary cutter. So we only need 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there's those 3. We still have this much left for a second wreath. So, okay, 3 of these. Oh, Beth. Thank you. Thank you so much, Beth. And Frenchie, if Frenchie 28. Shout out, welcome in. Thank you guys for finding us. Yay. I'm on the road to 5K. I would love to have 5K. But, we're in the low 4s, but that's okay. Excuse me. Bless me. Excuse me. Okay, 2 more. 2. One more. And last one. Okay. So that's that with those. All right. Let's see here. We are going to do I always like to find the two that are right on top of each other and alternate that first, just so I know that one's alternated, but it doesn't really matter where you start. It really doesn't. I think I'm going to do this down here on my pant leg. For some reason, it's really easy when I do it on my pant leg. The ruffling, I don't know, for some reason, the ruffling is easier. Joanne, shout out. Hello. Roxanne, shout out to you. Hello. Thank you guys for finding us. Yay. I am on the road to 4K, or 5K, sorry, 5K. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, it's just easier when I do it like that. So it is much smaller. It's a much smaller cruffle, but that's okay. That is okay. I do, Roxanne. I have an E-S-T-O-R-E. I have an E-T-S-Y. There is a box over here with a number in it. If you text that number and say hello, it'll send you an L-I-N-K to everything me. Or if you go to ETSY, my name is Creations by Stacy 21 on ETSY. And I'm trying to stock my store. I'm currently at like maybe 30 or so, but I need that number to be higher. So that's what we're doing. We're stocking the E. That is what we are working on. But I have a lot. I mean, my walls are covered. So I wish I could show them all to you. I have a few behind me. I was trying to see, like, on my phone, you can kind of see the family one here with the sunflowers, but my room is completely text, but got nothing back. Oh, really? Well, I need to figure that out. Yeah, I have an ETSY, and it's Creations by Stacy 21. Now, I wonder why that's not doing anything. It was supposed to send you something. That's not good. Thanks for letting me know, because you should get an L-I-N-K, and now I need to figure that out, what the problem is. So thanks for letting me know. But yeah, I have an FB, I have a YT, I have all the things, and most of it, yay! Most of it is Creations by Stacy. The ETSY is definitely Creations by Stacy 21. Maybe the other one was taken or something, and 21 is our family lucky number. So, but I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, we are getting close, guys. We only have 3 more, and then we're gonna do the ribbon. Thank you so much, Roxanne. And I also, the new thing I am going to try to start doing is when I'm on here and I'm making one from scratch, giving a little bit of a deal if they go ahead and grab it. If they go ahead and grab it while I'm here making it before I get it on the E, then you get a little bit of a discount. That's going to be my new thing I'm doing. Yay! That's going to be my new thing I'm doing when I'm doing a live, is whatever I'm working on currently. Yay! Currently, if you grab it before I get it on the E, there's a little bit of a discount. So I am good, Marisol. How are you? Hey, Misty. Hey, friend. I didn't know if I'd see anybody today because I know there's a lot going on. I know there's a lot going on in the wreathing world today, so I wasn't sure if I was going to see anybody. Thank you, Misty. Thank you. I didn't know if I was going to see anybody. Yeah, when I get a lot of the OGs in here, I would like to talk to everybody about my thoughts on my wreath class. I would like to get, feedback and opinions and all that, but I'll wait until I know we got some OGs in here. Okay, 2 more. Oh, it's good to see my friends in here. A lot of times I really feel like it's just more comfortable when I do the cruffle on my leg. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's a lot easier to ruffle up than on the table. Sandy, shout out to Sandy. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you found us. Okay. All right. Last one, guys. And then we can look at the ribbon. Everything, all the ribbon today is from Sam's. I don't even know if I can say that, but Sam's. Some from previous years, one from this year. Only one from this year. But the rest are all from just previous years. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Ooh, she's a nice thick one. So here we go. This is after all the mesh is put in. Now we're going to go in with our pop of color. If you know me, you know I like that pop of color. And honestly, because I haven't put it, normally I would just put, oh my gosh, he is just perfect. He is just absolutely perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. There's just no other way to say it. He's just as sweet as can be. And it's funny, hi Mary. It's funny, I love when I'm the Meemaw because I get to go over, snuggle him, love on him, and then hand him back, and then come home and get a full night's sleep. I love it. So, okay guys, so this is our wreath base. When I would do a pop of color, normally I would just throw that white in there to pop. I'm making Patriotic. So normally, most of my wreaths, you see that white. But since my ribbon, you guys, is a lot of this, there is a lot of the tan in these, why not make this our pop of color? Thank you, Marisol. I think I'm going to make this the pop of color because it is going to give us still our white that we like, but it throws in some tan. I think that's what we're going to do. I would have used the other one, but I don't have any extra of that. So What do you guys think? This will be different, making this our pop of color, and I think it's going to go with our ribbon choices. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Thank you, Marisol. So, we're just gonna cut some of these. I don't like cutting these on the. Oh, thank you. We're gonna do, like I said, we are gonna make this the pop of color, and it is gonna pop on this wreath because of the colors we've chosen already. But it's also gonna throw in a little bit of that tan to kind of. These are the four colors that I've chosen. These are gonna be our tails. So there's enough tan in all this that I think tying this in, I think it's gonna be pretty neat. Okay. So we only need, that's for the inside, now we need 5. So 1, 2. I think this is a different pop of color, but I think it's gonna work. 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 more. I hate all this white that it leaves on my board. Hi, Yashira. Will you sell it in your shop? I absolutely will. I don't have a sign for it yet. I hadn't decided if I'm going to get a sign or if I'm just going to put a real pretty bow in the center, because sometimes I don't think everything has to have a sign. I say that, and all of my stuff have signs, but I don't know that you always have to have a sign. But absolutely it will. I just have to figure out, am I going to go the bow route or am I going to go just the sign? But hang out and watch how it all comes together. I would love for you to hang out and watch. Okay, I'm just trying to get all these little fibers that got embedded into my board here. I hate when that happens. I should have just cut it with my scissors. Okay. How are you, Yashira? A row would be nice. I'll watch for it. Okay, awesome. Well, and if I did a bow, like here's the bow we made. Like I said, this was my inspiration for this wreath. Normally I start with a sign. But I'm thinking, okay. I like the colors. I mean, I don't have any tan in it yet, but when I saw this color combo, I'm like, okay, I want to go more rustic. Oh, thank you, Granny T. Granny T. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, let's get our pop of color in. So, here's what it looks like. But what was your favorite thing about the party? I mean, it's my favorite. Honestly, it's that I got the first one out of the way. That's probably the main thing. I had a lot of mixed emotions, like I knew that it wasn't going to be, like my husband was like, oh, make sure you bring some of your wreaths that you've made and have them there for the people to see. And I was like, no. I don't want to do that. And I knew from the get-go that this wasn't, this class, I'll talk while that this class wasn't about making money. I knew it was just about, honestly, getting the first one over and just seeing what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, what I need to change, all the things. And these were lovely ladies. Okay, these were lovely ladies. But these were ladies who didn't know what mesh was, had never seen mesh, have no idea how to make a wreath. They were just, they do a little class reunion once a month, and they get together, and the guys hang out in a shop, and they were frying fish Thursday night, and the ladies just get together and talk. And so that's what this was. And they just, they were like, oh, you got your hands full. Oh, I don't know how to do anything. I mean, they were, you know, of the older generation, but they didn't know what a cruffle was. They didn't know what mesh was. They had never worked with mesh. They had never done anything. Anything. And so I feel like if I do it again and it's another wreath, it's another class as far as like a beginner class, I really need to change it up because I go by recipes. You guys know me. So I showed you in my previous, if you look in my post, I had showed you when I was packing up. I had the wreath frame ready with the ties, with the Chanel stems on them. Oh, Misty, you'll love this. Okay, so if this tells you how different a time era they're in, when I was trying to show them how to do the cruffle, I kept going, okay, you know, you just ruffle it. I kept going, you know, you just ruffle it, and here's how you do it. And they were looking at me and watching me. I was like, this is how you ruffle. And a lady goes, oh, so like a pleat. I said, yes. Oh, well then okay, so we're pleating. Yeah, just pleat right up the center. So, okay, yeah, so we're just pleating right at the center. So, you know, and then I can see some frustration with a lot of them because, I mean, some of them, their hands weren't really, you know, they had to do this 16 times and, yeah, different times. And so I think if I ever did another one, I need to come up with, I mean, I went in there and they did, just like I do on these lives, they did the cruffle method. I didn't put the 21-inch mesh in. I just made my 10-inch a little bit longer. But, oh, Carrie, thank you. Welcome, Carrie. I'm so glad you found us. But they did the cruffle method, and then they did the ribbon, and then they did the sign. But, you know, they struggled. And, but here's probably my favorite thing other than it getting the first one over. So back to my story, like Russ was like, you should bring a couple, maybe they'll buy some. No, it wasn't about making a sale at this point. It wasn't about that. And I knew it wasn't about that. These ladies, when they got there, they didn't even know this was happening. When I got done, you know, we're designers. We look, I'm constantly looking around the room at my wreaths, finding those flaws and fixing them. And it's so weird because sometimes I will take a wreath to a craft show. I'll take a wreath to a craft show and I'll take it simply because I don't want to rework it, but I think it's hideous looking. I just can't stand it. And somebody will walk up at the craft show and be like, that is so beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. We all see things differently, which is why being a wreath maker is so awesome. Just being a crafter in general, we all see things differently. And I saw, for it being the first time, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It was the first time. Gina, welcome in. Some, when they were trying to put their ribbons in, they, you know, when they got it in, how do you teach somebody right off how to fluff it and spread them and do this and work with your wired ribbon? It just wasn't happening. It wasn't coming. It wasn't coming together like that. So I just kind of let them go. They just stuck it in there and that's it. So if you know where I'm going with that. But when they got done, they all looked and they loved them. They were like, oh my, they were so proud. And they felt like, I did this. And they kept walking around, oh, yours look so great. They all look so great. I will share a picture. Let me show a picture real quick. I took a picture of all of them. So I will just bring it up to the camera real quick. So you guys can see. Just so you guys get an idea. I don't know how good you're going to be able to see this. But here they are. They're all holding their wreath. And I don't know if you could see them really up close. You can't. It's like, they loved their wreaths. And that was what was so rewarding to me. And Russ goes, yeah, but when I was calling him on the way home to tell him how it went, he was like, yeah, but can you imagine if they would have seen your wreaths? I'm like, no, I don't want them to see mine. Because They looked different. Those 10 wreaths looks way differently than my wreaths. Even though it's the same process, same recipe. This, if I would have made the wreath that I taught them how to do 8 years ago, mine would have looked like theirs. But I didn't need them seeing my wreaths. I didn't need them seeing mine hanging up. I was like, they saw absolute beauty and they felt like they did that. They're like, I did this. You know, they come in like, I don't even know how to not do anything. And they walked out so stinking proud. That's what I wanted to accomplish. So no, I didn't want to bring my wreaths because my wreaths didn't look like their wreaths. And there was no point in that. I wasn't there to make a sale. I was there to have, to hang out with some ladies and make that. So that was my, but it did make me realize, like, I would have felt bad if they would have paid for this class. Now, I say that in the nicest way. I say it in the nicest way possible. But if somebody's going to pay for that, I've got to come up with a different recipe and not go so, making these, I don't think it's that hard, but I've also been going on it for 9 years. Something like this is very hard for people. And if somebody's going to pay to make one, I think that's a completely different ball game as far as figuring out, I need a simpler recipe. Elizabeth, shout out Elizabeth. I need a completely different recipe. I need something easier that can still be just as beautiful, but something easier. I don't know what that is yet. But because even my daughter's like, so would you do it again? I would, but I got to change up some things. And that's on me. I'm the professional or the designer. I would not go in again and teach them what I do currently. That's just, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm hoping it makes sense. But I was nervous. I was very nervous when we got towards the end, like putting the sign on. I mean, some of them had the ribbon upside down where they had put the back side was facing forward. They didn't care. And there were so many of them, 10 people. See, and I love mesh. I like the fabric mesh better and this mesh. And the mesh that we used, actually, you know what? Besides using 21-inch mesh for my center, I'm going to actually make the exact wreath that we did in the class. Except I am going to use 21-inch mesh on the inside just because I will put this in my SHOP and I want it 21-inch mesh in there. But I'm going to use the same mesh that they use. I'm going to use the same ribbon that we chose. And just to show you guys, but like I said, in the future, I have to figure out some kind of a beginner wreath for someone to make. But it's not this one. Because I love it. And when they did like the first 2 cruffles, they were like, how many of these do I have to do? Well, you have to do, 15 more, 14 more. And then I had already pre-cut the ribbon and dovetailed, but you have to fold it, you have to put it in. And then that's when the hard work begins. You have to mold that ribbon the way you want it. You have to, I do a lot of things. When I put my ribbon tails in, that's just the beginning. I have to work that ribbon. I have to work that ribbon each time. And they didn't understand what that was. They didn't know what that was. So, I don't know. Now, if it would have been a little bit more beginner, it would have been okay. But that was old. Is it Olga? Welcome in. Shout out to Olga. But bless their hearts, they were so happy and proud, and they felt accomplished, and that was my win for the night. That was my win. That was 100% my win. But I honestly, an in-person one again, I don't know how I would do it. I don't know. There's not enough people in my area. They would all of the wreath classes that I would put on in my area would be beginner, and I don't know. I don't know how I would do it. But yes, that's kind of sums it up in a nutshell. And when maybe I feel like I didn't teach it good enough, because they should have been able to figure it out. I don't know. I felt like I was failing them during the class because they weren't getting it. They weren't getting it. I would tell them, okay, do this, and they weren't doing it. But I also think it had, like I said, it was also a different group of people. They weren't looking to learn how to do it to sell. They weren't learning. They just were there. They showed up for their little year or monthly reunion with all their school people, and they happened to have a wreath to do. Do you put your pipe cleaners all on before you start your mesh? Do you color code them? I do color code them, and I do put them on before the mesh. That's the first thing I do. Oh, bugs. Welcome in. Yay! I do put the matching pipe cleaners. I try to match them as best I can, and I do put them in before. All of that's done before. So, but I don't think I would do it again until I had a good recipe, until I had a new recipe for beginners. I don't think I would do it. I just don't think I could, because if I did it, it would be for a class that people paid, and I want them to, but all in all, it was totally successful. It was totally successful. I was very nervous. Hi, hello, Cece. But that's what I took away from it. And I was just amazed and astounded at what they saw. I was so thankful that's what they saw. Okay, guys, now I told you we tied it. Oh, you did? You tied? I mean, a tie's better than a loss. A tie is better than a loss. So, okay. What do you guys think about the pop? I think it worked. I love it. I think this with the tan, I think it gave it some tan. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I have to get another CO order together. I love it. And I think it's just going to give it just enough tan, because there's a lot of tan in the ribbon. So I didn't want to overwhelm it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's cut some ribbon. We're going to go with these three. This is the new Peyton's BFF says hi. Peyton's BFF. Steve. Hello, Stevie. Okay, this is the new. Oh my gosh, Scott. I don't know. He might be down in the shop right now. He might be down there. I hear a car down there. Now, he's supposed to come up and say hello to his fans up here. Peyton is, but he never comes up anymore. I can't get him to come up and say hi. And he won't even come in the house at all, because he thinks if he, oh my gosh, from Chick-fil-A, that sounds good. Let me see if that's him out the shop. Let me see. Hey, Peyton. Scott says hi. him and Stevie are watching my live at Chick-fil-A. And Peyton said, Stevie said, Peyton's BFF says hi. Yes, he's out there. He's out there. He's out there cleaning his truck. And he's not going to come up here, though. I'm telling you right now, he's not going to come up here. He won't come up here at all now that he knows I'm live, so. Because he's afraid I'm going to be like, hey, come say hi to the people. Okay, I don't know, you guys. I really love this. I love this tan. Wow. I don't know that we need a sign. I'm thinking we're going to do some kind of a bow. I don't know. I'm not very good at bows, so. This isn't the greatest. It's not the worst ribbon. It is from, you know, our favorite place, so. This is the new ribbon I got. This and this came from Sam's last year. This is the only one I bought this year. So we're gonna do, let's see, we did 16, so I need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh. Chick-fil-A sounds really good right now. So let's see. I do like this ribbon. Now this, if I had just red and white striped, which I don't, I thought I ordered some, but I didn't. If I had a red and white striped with this would be a really pretty ribbon, I think. Really pretty bow, I mean. But, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. This is not bad ribbon, I don't think. So one more, and I'm going to go ahead and dovetail them while it's here. So that'll be done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try to do 4 at a time. That would be great. So then this is the point where I start to lose everybody when I'm doing all the prep work and cutting and all that. So. This. Okay. Get the dovetail going. 1, 2. I thought. Wait. Is there 1, 2, 3, and 4? How do you decide the length of your ribbon? Jordan, I kind of go off a recipe. I'm pretty I like to go off, I don't like to veer too far off of what I know. So and I do the same style wreath almost all the time. So my go-to is all my 1.5 inch ribbon, I will make anywhere from 12 to 13 inches. My 2.5 inch ribbon most likely is 13 inches. And like I said, I decide my length because I have a recipe to my mesh wreaths. I stick to the same recipe, so I kind of know what length is going to work, if that makes sense. So now we'll get some of these. This is a little bit more thicker than that. Sometimes I just go 12 inches. It's anywhere between 12 and 13 for my 1.5 ribbon. Now for the 2.5 inch, which would be these two right here, I'm going to go 13 for sure. If not, a little bit longer. Ooh, like that's got a little puppy on there. Aw, thank you for the user 3097. Welcome in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 2 more of these. And we'll see if we're gonna make a bow. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I'm not sure now. These are a little bit thicker. I don't think I can do 4. We're gonna have to do 3 at a time for either. Get the dovetailing done. One, two, three. What is making a wire wreath ribbon and sharing tips for beginners? Sometimes that AI thing on here says some good things, but then some other times it's like, hey, tell everybody to SHARE. I'm like, well, I would love to, but if I say that, you're gonna. So I love how it suggests that you do that, and then it says, oh, you shouldn't have done that. So I'm trying to get my, my ETSY. I need to get more things in there, so that's the goal for today. That is the goal. I mean, and in the AI thing, it literally says the word SHARE. Go ahead and tell your watchers to SHARE. I'm like, well, I would love to. But that's not going to work. And this is all I don't really have a lot of patriotic ribbon. I need to change that. Honestly, I really depend more on Sam's for that because I know they're going to have it every year. They're going to have really good patriotic. And like in their spring collection, I always find a few good flower ones too. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 more. 6, 7. Well, I guess I would tell you to go, text this number over here, but somebody earlier said nothing happened. And that's a bummer, because that's where I have my LINK tree, and if it's not working, that's not fun. That's a bummer. So, because that's where I have everything. I am so glad we put this tan in here. And we didn't use a tan ribbon to begin with, just for that pop. So glad. Okay. 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only one more, guys, and then we get to start putting it on here. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like without a sign. Then I guess we'll just decide from there, what we want to do. So, there's that. All right, last one. Get this all. Okay. Last one. Aww. Is it Magster? Magster. Thanks for finding us. Okay. Last one, guys. I know this is the boring part. This is the boring part. I'm trying to get through as fast as I possibly can. I was very, very, very nervous right before the class. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous. But like I said, the ladies were so nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But, you know, I was talking to Kim had, you know, FaceTime me, and I was like, she's like, just pretend you're on a live. I'm like, yeah, but when I'm on a live, I'm just talking to the camera. There's not people standing there staring at me, and it's different. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I could probably do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could probably do like an online. Well, I think it would be, online would be probably a lot less stressful on me. But, so, no, online one would be fun, I think. Because, again, still, I'm staring at the camera. I'm not staring at, you know, all the people looking at me. So it's different. It's different. You know what? You wouldn't think that this is directional, but this is directional ribbon. It's like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure that I keep it all the same here. But so yes, future me. I don't know that future me. I don't see a future. It was fun to do, but I don't see a future of doing this. I would rather focus on directional. I would rather focus on, like, I really kind of want to start to do kits and stuff, like sell kits online. Aw, thank you. If what you can't see here is there's no room on the walls. There's wreaths all over the walls. The floor is covered. I mean, there's so much stuff here besides the pink zebra stuff back here and the wreath stuff. Oh my gosh, it's whew, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I have 2 rooms because we are almost empty nesters. So this room right here is actually our master bedroom. We don't need it all. All we're going to do in a bedroom is sleep. Why do we have to have a bigger room? So I made this my craft room. My husband and I took a smaller bedroom, and then the other bedroom is also my craft room. I have a lot going on. But yeah, I want to, as far as the future with wreath making, I want to, like, get into, you know, doing kits. I think would be fun. Maybe supplies. I would love to go the supply route. I don't know the first thing about supplies. Not the first thing. So, you know, we'll see. We're going to see. I mean, but I don't see a future in, because, you know, this also has to be, it's fun and all, but it also has to, I have to be able to pay bills with doing this stuff eventually, and I can't pay bills. I don't see it being something that I can actually make an income of. I don't think I'm in the right place. I don't think there's enough people here in my town, and now, wreath kits, supplies, I could jump on board that. I could 100% jump on board that. I think wreath kits would be so fun. Like, so fun. Again, I don't know the first thing. So, I would have to figure out the first thing. And so on and so on. But, But that's what I would like my future to hold. But it was fun. Like I said, now I've got one under my belt. And it was great. But did I not? I did. Did I only... I didn't dovetail one side of these. Okay, that's dovetailed. That's dovetailed. That's dovetailed. That's dovetailed. That's dovetailed. So these three are not dovetailed. Sorry about that. But yeah, I love my craft room. I mean, I move things around all the time, and I'm always in here moving something and messing around in here. I love it. Does anybody in here do, where's your huzz at? My huzz is helping Taggart build his house. He's not going to come on here. Oh, I would try to think of a catchy phrase to tell you, but I don't know your all's talk. I don't know your lingo. You guys have a different kind of talk that I'm not used to. Is that what that means when you say he's helping his son build his house? Is that what that means? Or does that mean get mad at him? Does that mean get mad at him? Your all's lingo is something else. I mean, I'm going to tell him that. When he gets home, I'm going to tell him that. You roasted him. Oh, okay, okay. Well, he might get mad at that. He might get mad. But you can roast him all you want. You can clock his tea all you want. Because he won't get mad at you. So you just go right ahead and clock his tea. If I even read that right. Did I read that right? Okay. We're almost ready to put the dang ribbon in the dang wreath. If you roast him, tell him clock it. Okay. I'm probably not going to roast him. I'll roast Peyton. I'll roast him all day long. So I'll probably say it to Peyton before I do him. That would be fun to do that to him. Okay. Alright, last one. Alright. Gosh, there's so many of you guys in here. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do it. So, I think I want this one to go in here. So let's start. Let's just start. See, and even this, when I did the class, they didn't have a problem doing this and getting it to here. But to talk to somebody who's never dealt with ribbon before, you know, we do a lot. Once we scrunch that ribbon up, there's a lot that goes on after that, you know. There's a lot that I do to this little piece of ribbon before I call it good. And they, you know, they weren't getting it, and understandably so. It takes time, you know. How do I tell them, oh, you just kind of work with it and you get it to do this and this. They were like, they had no idea what I was talking about. And so I just let them put it in. Just put it in. And, you know, I said it in a nice way. I didn't just say, okay, just put it in. I didn't do that. But I mean, they weren't going to get it. So, no matter how I put it, they were not going to get it. I mean, I feel like in order to get it to look pretty, I do a lot of things to this little piece of ribbon. And half the time they would put it in, they were putting it in backwards. Or like the 1.5 inch was upside down. So I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. They were loving it. So here we go. This is going to be This is one of them. I love the, I do like all the ribbon one, the stars one. I really like that. And then this one's going to go in the other one. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you. Yay. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you. I am trying so hard to get to 5. I don't know, there's nothing that happens at 5K, but I sure would like to be there. So, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Let me show you, once we get this one in here, what it looks like with both of them. I'm going to be a little nervous if I don't put a sign on this. Like every one I ever do normally just has a sign, so we'll see. Alright, so here we go. Here's what it's going to look like with both of them on there. Let me see if you guys can see it. Oh, this one. There we go. So now we're just going to make our way around and do all the things. And then we got to the point of the night at the class where it was time to put the sign on. And I told you guys that was what I was most nervous about, is when it came time to putting that sign on. And it was basically at that point just a rush job, because you know what, honestly, they don't love making wreaths like I do, so probably about that point, by the end of the night, they were just over it. Their hands probably hurt, and they were just over it. So it was very quickly done, and then I was like, then they were going to go on with their night and, you know, talk to their friends and hang out, and so I packed up and left. But in the future, I do really want to come up with some kind of an easier wreath idea for a first timer. That's what I'll say about that. Aw, thank you guys. You guys are great. Thank you all so much for the love. I appreciate it so much. I do have a YT that I'm trying to kind of get going too. Hi, hello Jen, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay. I'll show you guys a sign of another wreath that I was going to start after this one. And it's a summer wreath. It's like a summer popsicle type. Okay. Sometimes mine take forever to get, like, thank you, user 52686. Welcome in, I'm glad you found us. Okay. We're up to 40K likes. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are so awesome. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I wrangle these wired ribbons so many times, I don't even know how to explain to someone who's never done it before how to do this. So, aw, thank you, Jan. Okay. You all can still see. I feel like I'm scooting more and more over to the side here and you guys can't see. I apologize. Okay. Oh my gosh, Jan, that's awesome. Well, welcome in. I love it. Are you a wreath maker? Okay. Welcome in. My name is Stacy, and I am a wreath maker slash pink zebra consultant back here. Nice work, working on it. Great. How would this hold up on a partially covered porch? When you say partially, I mean it's all weather treated, but it's if it's gonna be out like with the rain and all the things, I don't honestly I don't know that I would recommend that. I think really it should be inside or on a covered, on like a covered porch. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Just to be on the safe side. Okay, we are finally one away from having everything on the outside. So, I'll show you what we have so far. I have one more to put on the outside, and then we'll go to the inside. Okay. Okay, last one on the outside. No, perfect. I would definitely suggest a covered porch. Did you check out my SHOP? I do have one in there currently that is Patriotic. And then we just put the sign on one today, which I have it over here. We just put the sign on at the beginning of my first live today, and I haven't had a chance to take a picture of it. And then we decided to start this one. Thank you, truly, Julie. Thank you so much. Okay. So here, okay. So here it is with all of it on the outside. So let me see. So I'm trying to just so you can see. So now we're gonna put it. Thank you, Misty. Thank you. Okay. Now let's put it on the inside. You need to remember red gets this one. Maybe we'll switch it up. Maybe we'll do red gets this one. No, I don't want to. Thank you, Jan. Okay. Okay, which, this one goes in here. This is at the point where I kind of should probably stand up because my table is so high that the birds love the corners of our log homes, so a wreath would be an option for them. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. I am just spreading out. See, here's what it looks like once we put it. All right, which one next? And we could work on a bow. I mean, these are all 50-yard ribbons, so a bow would be. It wouldn't take, like if I ended up not using it, I have a ton of ribbon to work with. So we could maybe work on a bow. Bows stress me out though, people. Just know that. If you know me, if you're in here and you know me, you know bows stress me out. How long do you cut your tails? Jan, my 1.5 inch I usually cut 12 to 13 inches, and my 2.5 inch I usually cut at 13. Which one? This one. There's so many times. Yeah, bows are not my friend. Not my friend. Which is why I kind of like placing like loud ribbon and all the patterns and a sign, because then I always feel like, oh, you don't need a bow. If you look on my E, I don't think there's anything in my E that has a bow, honestly. No, I'm not